I have nobody to call my own. Hey y'all, welcome back to DXMTV. You know what I mean? We got Akon about to pull up, talk about Diddy. They getting everybody and anybody to talk about the guy. You know what I'm saying? But he said the industry allowed it. That's what he's saying. The actions with the industry. The industry let it happen. I mean, duh. I think we all know that. I think we all are very aware. I think it's also a thing of like minding your business. Like, but there gotta come a time when you kind of start, seeping into mind somebody else's business. I guess that's not really my steez, but yeah, I think that's what it was. A lot of people just minding their business, like, yo, Diddy just doing Diddy stuff. Like, let Diddy. But now everything crashing. It's like, yo, if they condemning him, you know what I mean? So let's see what Akon talking about. Akon, you better not pop up in none of these tapes. All these people talking, they better not pop up in none of the tapes. They ain't think they was on camera. You ain't know that was an official Diddy party. You went to the party, you ain't know. Anyway, y'all, like, share, subscribe, the notification bell. Let's see what they talking about up here.
Talk to me about obviously this new record, "Beautiful Day" is dope, but I know you got a new album on the way.
Yeah, new album, Not Guilty.
Not Guilty.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, it's a statement for the culture. I just think the culture's under attack right now.
What do you mean by that?
Just in general, I think the way it's just such a negative vibration in the music business. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of it came from just miseducation. But for the most part, like when I look, that's one of the reasons why I even created Beautiful Day, because I just feel like sometimes we take a lot of things for granted, bro. Like no matter how bad your life is, somebody out there got it worse.
Yeah.
And we're always focusing on what we want or what we should have versus what we already have that we should be grateful for.
Do you feel like because there's been so many negative things happening in the music industry, so many people are worried about people getting exposed with the Diddy situation.
Right.
Do you feel like that? Because obviously, we kind of all grew up looking at Diddy, and look, for Diddy's rights or wrongs, he's a mogul. He's he's somebody who we could look at and be like, yo, I want to aspire to be boss like him.
100%.
So when something like this happens, and it feels like there's going to be a lot of aftershock that might affect other people in the music industry, do you feel like there's a weight of that situation in particular weighing on just the industry in general? Or
I think it's.
Hey, hold on. Before he even answers, shout out to Bootleg Kev for being one of the first people to really. I don't know how to really word this, but to respect who he was without the allegations and everything. Just saying yo, at one point in time, but not even one point in time, he is a mogul. He is looked at like this. This is how we were looking at him. Now, we doing the internet thing and kind of going at him, but at the end of the day, he's like a titan of industry. We look at him like, yo, one day I'm gonna do that, or I want to do something big like that. Oh, he did this deal. That's exciting. So shout out to him for being the only, and it's the white guy. That's the craziest shit in the world. Everybody black just tearing him down, the white dude yo, you know what I'm saying? It is crazy, but think about how big he, is. He's this guy, and everybody else talking he already got locked up, he already did it. We know that, we know the future, what could, the most likely, possibility of the future. But the fact of the matter is that gavel ain't dropped yet. So, you know what I mean? And all they trying to do is public perception and call the man zesty and stuff. Drop the real evidence. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to say that because that's kind of how I was yo, even though he may have done XYZ, he did XYZ. He is XYZ. You know what I mean?
It's weighing on the whole industry because I don't think a situation like that can happen without the industry's participation. You know what I mean? But for the most part, the industry always bred these kind of situations, these kind of behaviors. And I think it's at a time now where the world itself is just cleansing itself. I think I see this more of as a spiritual movement than it is something physical or someone being, directly targeted, if that makes sense. Because this is something that needs to be exposed for everyone, spiritually, to cleanse themselves, their emotions, their thoughts, all the lies need to come out. We just need to get back to being human versus playing the role of what other people want us to play. And I think we're at that point now where you're forced to now have to confront all your doings. I just think like nature does that spiritually. It does it physically. Like even think about all these hurricanes and all this stuff in areas that we never expected it to happen.
Yeah.
The world is just cleansing itself. Period. And I don't think we're gonna be exempt to it.
Yeah, you think there's like a spiritual cleansing for sure? Like
1,000%. That's how I feel for sure.
Yeah, I think that is one thing you said. Like when it comes to like certain levels of some of this stuff that just became like normal behavior. Like you said, like everybody is.
Yeah, I mean,
people were ignoring this stuff.
I mean,
participating and enabling. You know, I mean, you can go all the way back to like some of the allegations against like Russell Simmons. And, you know what I mean? So it's like this kind of behavior isn't new, and it was kind of the worst kept secret. So that's where I wonder once all of the like trials and start happening, like does security play a part in getting in trouble?
Of course.
The assistant,
I mean,
the person who answers the emails, the person that runs and picks up the drugs. And, you know, there's going to be so many people, like there's so many people enabled.
It's too many elements.
Too many.
And it's nothing that he could have personally been able to do by himself.
Yeah.
It had to have been supported by people around him that support the whole concept. And I think this is the point where everybody's, you know, going to be worried. And this is the reason why the whole industry's quiet. No one's speaking out because as many people that this man has helped, uplifted, and set up to live them lives, their lives or set up their lives of family, you would expect someone to come in his defense. But no one's
I think the only person who did was Stevie J, I think.
Yeah, he's probably the only one.
I'm assuming you haven't been to any freak-offs.
No, I don't do freak-offs. Unfortunately not. Because I was never a party person. And
he said, unfortunately not.
You're not that kind of guy. I feel like anytime I see you at any like event, it's like you're there on business.
I'm in and out.
You're in and out.
Right.
Yep.
And and if you never really see me hanging around with celebrities or none of that, because that was never really my life. I just saw it as work for perspective. But I always thought the mindset of how people or celebrities per se think, they always felt like they were above everyone else, and I didn't like that attitude.
Yeah. I feel like even like, you know, anytime I've ever had encounters with you, you're very like you're just a normal dude. Yeah, I mean, but
I was just blessed to be in a position.
But you're also Akon.
I get it. I'm popular, but I don't think it changed the man, though. You know.
Yo, talk to me about some, because obviously you have a lot of entrepreneurial stuff. I just opened a pizza restaurant here in Burbank, and I heard
me too.
I heard you just opened one in Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, I got 3 in Atlanta and 1 in Jacksonville that we just opened up, and we're gonna spread out to the West Coast as well too.
How's the pizza game?
We should do a collab.
We should, man. Yeah, my spot's like right here on the corner.
Oh, is it?
It's right. Yeah, it's right here in Burbank.
That would be hard.
Yeah,
that would be dope.
How's the pizza game been for you? Like,
man, amazing. Yeah, like bro, like it takes. I mean, literally, it only costs 8 cents to make.
Yeah, pizza is the highest. It's got the highest margin.
Food. Yeah, it's the highest margin for any food in the world. It's like, but then it's so good, and it's a snack. It's also could be a meal.
It'll never go out of style.
It's affordable. It'll never go out of style. Yeah. It's like the best business to go into if you're talking about food.
So you got 3 of them.
Yeah, 4 now.
4
Jacksonville
now.
makes
wow.
4.
Shout out to Jacksonville, man. That's dope.
Yeah, the goal is to get 20 by the end of 2026.
Akon and the pizza game. Do you have any other franchises or anything you're a part of that you have?
No. But the next one's going to be a jollof rice fast food restaurant.
Oh, fire.
Yeah, so it's going to be called jollof. It's going to be fast food like McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever, but that's more like African cuisine, but quick. Almost like, what's that one? Chipotle.
Yeah, no, that is interesting because there hasn't been any. I feel like we don't have a lot of exposure on a commercial level to African food.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Like we get Jamaican food. Like you can get jerk chicken at like.
Yeah, you can get Jamaican. Yeah. You can get Chinese. You can get Thai.
For sure. Yo, what for you, man? Like, talk to me just about like your how do you feel about where we are musically right now? Because I feel like we've had like a interesting year because, you know, I feel like the Kendrick Drake thing kind of took over this year in terms of hip hop, at least, and at least for me as like a fan.
False. That is false. It was not Kendrick and Drake. It was beef in general. I gotta make this video. It was not just Kendrick and Drake. It was beef in general. It started off, I think the girls started off. Was it Nicki and Megan, Chris Brown and Quavo? It was just beef in general. This whole year was like that. Yeah, I got a theory. I'm not giving it to y'all right now. That's a separate video. But yeah, it was just beef in general, bro.
And I appreciated the fact people were like caring about bars again. You know what I mean? So there was
that was the positivity.
That was the positive.
It brought hip hop back to its essence.
It did. It also created like the civil war of hip hop.
Right. But I honestly, believe it or not, as much as I love the idea that happened, I wish it would have ended on a shaking hands, bygones be bygones, let them continue. Because that's the one thing about the hip hop industry. Like when you look at the LL and Kool Moe Dee beef all the way back in the day, those boys, after all of that, they came back and set an example. Like, this friendly competition, you know, they both went at it, you know who won, this is what it is, and they kept moving on with their careers. And I think sometimes with this generation, we take things so emotionally personal to the point where it goes beyond the competition on wax that it can easily like kind of easily spill over into some real live, you know, beef. And I just think that we got to we have to change that tone of it.
Yeah, I think too, like with this like new landscape of fans and the internet.
Right.
Like now fans are emboldened. They're trying to expose artists.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Dropping locations.
Oh, like, my goodness. It's that crazy. Man, listen, the vibration of what music is so negative right now. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of it, honestly, I would kind of give my generation, I would say we're partly responsible for that too.
Why is that?
You know what I mean? Because I think it was a different step. Like the hip hop generation that we came up on, you know, like the African Bombadas and all them, like they always spoke on positive messaging. It was always party. If it was something that kind of like scrubbed the edge of content, it was always about something political that was going on in our neighborhoods.
Or like
want to speak out about
something like that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then later, you know, when our generation came, then you know, gangster rap kind of opened the door up for a different era of music, where street crimes and street, you know, you could say politics became something to brag about.
Yeah.
It became something that you needed to be attached to make it in hip hop to be relevant, or even to be heard, or even to be looked at as somebody official. So then what happened was this new generation took that and really felt like they can glorify being gangster or glorify getting shot versus shooting, to the point where you can't be a rapper unless you got, or you like you've been locked up, or you've been shot, or you done shot at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But is that the artists or is that the gatekeepers? Because you have those artists. That's the gatekeepers, bro. I struggle and get very frustrated with this conversation because you got a Drake, you get a J. Cole, you get a Lil Dicky, you get a Jordan Lucas. You get a Kyle. You get these artists. You get a Lil Yachty. You get them, but then you don't appreciate them. So it's not that. Oh, it ain't that. It's that you're not respecting when they're doing that. Like Drake had to fight for all the respect. J. Cole kind of, I don't know. He kind of hybrided. He did something different. He went pure hip hop, and they was like, all right, cool, he got it. But then you got like Kyle. Kyle can rap. He just ain't seen as like a thug gangster dude. Lil Dicky can rap, but he's white, so y'all make him. He did TV. He found a different way. Jordan can rap. Jordan just luckily has theme songs, and he can rap. His ability got him next to Eminem. So we have these artists that do that. Like we do. We have Yachty, who, you know what I'm saying. We had Soulja Boy, and y'all turned Soulja Boy gangster. That is what it is. Where you going? Are you on now? Okay. But yeah, they had all. We have these artists, man. But it's just about how we appreciate as a record label person what you promote and all that. So if you're not promoting it and that's not what you care about, and you want, you know, the gangster artists because that's who sells, that's what you promote. You got Rhapsody right now sitting on the sidelines with no music. She dope, but when it comes to female, y'all want to hear Pussy Poppin' Legacy. Y'all want to hear, I mean, y'all want Baby Trinas. So I don't know. I feel like he has a point, but at the same time, if I dress myself, because that's why I was like, yo, I could rap, but I ain't trying to be gangsta at all. That's real. Like, so like I go out there and rap, and I'm trying to do this. Nobody about to take you like super serious unless you not necessarily catching a body, but you got to be kind of moving like, all right, I will catch one. No, I'm not about to lie for y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's up to the execs and gatekeepers and who say what is cool and all that. It ain't really the artists, because the artists are the kids right now. The kids right now are the artists. They are growing up and they looking like, okay, Drake's popping, Kendrick's popping, J. Cole's popping, Moneybagg Yo's popping. Like, what do I want to? I like this artist. How you how you flip that? Depending on which artist dictates how they move and how they look at the culture. Y'all made sure that it wasn't no dancing culture. We had dancing for like a couple years, but we gloss over that like that ain't happen. Like Soulja Boy, VIC, the Franchise Boys, D4L, like that wasn't a thing. Y'all just gloss over it like that ain't happen. Definitely happened. It was like a whole dance renaissance. But you know what I'm saying? And then when that was happening, I was like, that ain't real rap. It need to be, you know what I'm saying? They dancing, it ain't. So what y'all want? Like, Akon? I'm being a chatty patty. LaBelle, my bad. Let's keep moving, man. Let's get my bad, Akon.
Almost like that becomes your calling card or your backstage pass to become a part of the entertainment.
Yeah, and I always say this too, like it kind of, fans become desensitized to when people die.
To the point where it's like, it's a part of it.
Well, they look at, I feel like they're looking at a lot of these kids as like characters in a TV show that they watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so if someone dies, they're like, well, I'm going to leave a comment.
Yeah.
I know who did it. You know, like, it's ridiculous.
Crazy.
No, I do feel like this, though. I do feel as though your persona and like your street status can get you in the, like, they can push you, like if you're like a street person, you could be pushed in a position to rap and not know how to rap, and they can still give you a career some kind of way. But you could be a dope rapper and not have that street persona and you sitting on the sideline. But look, that's my opinion. Put y'all's in the comment below. We back with another one. Yeah.